Hello Darts Nutz, welcome to Darts Review channel. In this video I'm reviewing the last set from the Shot AI range, and this is the Mimic, so let's check them out. I'm reviewing the 23 gram version, the 90% tungsten. They're also in 24, 25, 26 gram in steel tip, 20 gram in soft tip, and the retail for £89.95. So the darts come in this colourful cardboard packaging, and as usual Shot, they do have some nice graphical work on the box, and inside you got a foam tray holding everything in place, and the darts come fitted with the koi carbon in between stems and the 100 micron small standard flights. The darts fit with a silver point. It's a kind of a scalloped front weighted style. Obviously the race section's got the scallop and thicker at the front with a tapered nose, and you got a nice black titanium coating. Quite a mix of grip here. It's kind of like thin rings with some lateral notches, and then you've got some wider rings and just like some thin rings with wider notches. But that section there is probably going to be quite comfortable for rear grippers if you like a front weighted style, and I think it's probably just a little bit more grippy around here with the thin rings, and it's kind of got like wider notches there. We'll probably see it better in the close-up, but I think some rear grippers, if you're into your front weighted style, you'll be quite happy with that. Obviously I'm a front gripper, so I'm going to be gripping on the wide part there, but again another very nice looking dart from Shot, and it's fitted with the koi carbon in between stems like I mentioned, and these rather colourful Mimic 100 micron small standard flights. So you got this tapered nose, and that's got a mix of very fine grooves and then some ring and groove grip with lateral notches cut through, and black tie coating contrasting with the natural tungsten there, and then a wide smooth ring and groove, and then some very thin rings, which is, it looks to me, if you look at it there, it's kind of like V-shape, but not quite. I think it's just the way it's been cut. So it's just very thin cut rings, like two rings together, and then some wide notches cut through it, and then another single ring smooth with the black tie coating, and then a very slim ring and groove grip with some lateral cuts, another black smooth ring, and I think this area around here where the scallop is just feels a little bit more grippy. It looks as if the grooves have been cut a little bit more, and I think also with it being in the scallop, it just kind of like makes it feel a bit more pronounced. But it looks like the same kind of grip that's on the front there, but it just, I don't know, it just feels more grippy. And you've got two wide rings again, and then as it gets towards the rear it flares back out, and then a tapered smooth section on the end of the barrel. But another very interesting looking grip style. So that's the Shot AI Mimic. That's fit with a 28mm silver point. There's a tapered nose that's got a fine groove with some of the lateral cuts running through it. That's 7.5mm. Then a thin ring and groove grip with some of the lateral cuts. That's 4.7mm. Two wide rings and thin ring and groove grip in between with the wide notches. That's 8mm. Some thin ring and groove with lateral cuts, 6.5mm, and then the scallop section with the two wide rings, two sections of the thin ring and groove grip with the wide notches, 13.8mm, and a smooth section on the end, tapered 4.5mm, length 45mm with 7.7mm. .07 grams, 23.09 grams, 23.09 grams. Full setup 24.94 grams. Here's the balance with nothing attached and with the supplied setup. And this is the balance with medium in between short nylon stems and standard flights. I think the grip around the scallop section, even though it's the same part as the front, it just feels a little bit grippy on the scallop, so 7 at most. Right, I'll just have 3 throws. The flights are not very straight there. Must have been squashed in the box or something. Yeah, well, let's try them. Now I'm moulding it on the fat part at the front, and I would say because of the shape of the barrel, it could probably be a nice one for front rear grippers just as much as it is for front grippers. Yeah, you got a treble. It's definitely a front weighted feel, but I think that section there on the rear sits in your fingers nice, and it does feel a little bit more grippy there. But I'll have a couple of throws from the front, and then I'll try one throw from the mid part, mid to rear. Ah, treble 5 champion. I say these are my first throws. I haven't thrown them before. Like I said, I'm trying to restrict me throwing down to just whatever I do on my reviews. But hopefully I'm going to get my arms sorted soon. Oh, I got another treble. So they're actually flying quite nice for me, but it is a front weighted style, so that could be why. And it's a fairly shortish setup on the whole. So I'm going to try on the kind of like mid to rear section, so it has a little bit more grippiness there. So if you're a mid to rear gripper, or even a rear gripper, and you like a front weighted style, it could be worth looking at. See, that's what happens sometimes, my fingers it's stuck in the door. I don't know if it's that lump on my hand, but it feels like my fingers are not releasing properly. Never mind, but I'm trying. So I do think it will be a nice one if you're a rear gripper that likes a front weighted style. Certainly feels nice balance for me as a front gripper, and for the first few throws there, it didn't fly too bad, so definitely if I played with them longer, I'd probably be getting more used to them. Quite a nice little dart, and I think the section that I was on about where I was holding it there, it's a little bit more grippy than the rest of the barrel, simply because it's got 2 of them like grippy sections. The front has really only got that main one there. The one in front of that is kind of similar, but for some reason it doesn't feel quite as grippy. So I think rear grippers probably getting the best of the grippiness, and front grippers getting the best for the balance. But there you go. So I'll leave you with the gallery so you can have a close look at them, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy darting.